12:30.
Yep. She said she sent it, but I'm finna change. We're gonna take out Help Me Lift Jesus because we played that last Thursday.
Tell her to send it again.
Is my hair doing something like?
Throwing up gang signs.
Can you fix it?
I did. I just.
I'm looking in there. Wait. Y'all see my earrings? It's 5:00 after this.
Oh Lord. It's a kinship, it's a friendship, it's a relationship, and all that means is what a brunch bunchship. It is my favorite day of the week. It is Throwback Thursday, and in order to know where you're going, you must know where you come from. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and you're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. And I'm posted with the queen of throwback music.
Yes, it's your girl Tamara Fair on the air. I'm not sure about the queen of throwback music, but I am a queen, y'all. And I'm talking to all my queens out there in listening land. Y'all, it's getting ready to be a great Thursday. Y'all know how we do it. It's always our aim to send you back better than you came, and today is no different. We got a great guest for you, and today we finna go way back.
Yes, we are going way, way back. Listen, believers, grab your tambourines, call your friends, call your frenemies. We got a great show for you right here on Inspiration 1390. Hey, it's your main man, Action Jackson, and the business spotlight of the week is Bronzeville Hoagie and Panini Cafe. Today they grand opening. I think so. Didn't they say the 14th? March 15th. If tomorrow. For a gourmet sandwich shop serving high quality ingredients made simple and fresh, check out Bronzeville Hoagie and Panini Cafe. That's at Bronzeville Hoagie and Panini on Instagram. I was about to hit up my girl to drop some hoagies off up here. Sheila Business Support Service.
Hello, this is Cook County Commissioner Tara Stamps of the 1st District, and elections are just around the corner. That is your vote, your choice. Please, if you want someone who's prepared to stand up for public safety, public health care, and jobs, Hunch 101 to get the job done. That is Tara Stamps, Cook County Commissioner of the 1st District, Punch 101, and get the job done. I can be reached at all social media, Facebook and Instagram at Stamps for Commissioner. And you can see my website, www.stampsforcommissioner.com, www.stampsforcommissioner.com, at Stamps for Commissioner. Paid for by friends of Tar Stamps.
Attention motorists, get your new Buddy Bear yearly Buddy Pass for as low as $17 a month for the entire year. No matter where you are, through the 15 locations, you can go anytime and get your car washed every day if you want. All year long, Buddy Bear members will receive exclusive perks and offers throughout the membership. Go to BuddyBearCarWash.com. That's BuddyBearCarWash.com and get your membership today. You can ride out with a clean ride tomorrow. That's BuddyBearCarWash.com.
Hey there, Chicago. Are you looking to buy the home of your dreams or sell your property at the best price?
Your quest ends at L&S Development. With our expert real estate and mortgage loan services, we turn your property dreams into reality.
Don't let financial hurdles stand in your way. Our seasoned team is here to guide you every step of the way.
So whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, make your next move with confidence.
Call us at area code 773-616-0906 and let L&S Development open the doors to your property dreams. Again, 773-616-0906.
L&S Development, where your property journey begins and success awaits.
Do you know the real history? Who's Black history? Who's Black history? Do you know the real history? Without Black history.
Well, today on our Black Women's History Spotlight, I want to spotlight the
Peaches.
birthday girl, and that's none other than Miss Valencia. Woo, 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 woo. Today she turns 35, and the past 2 years have been a testament to her unparalleled strength and resilience. Since April 25th of 2022, Valencia has navigated a sea of challenges that would stagger many, from MJ's extended hospital stay to welcoming our beautiful Maddox into the world under the most trying circumstances, beginning her battle with cancer immediately thereafter, and facing the profound loss of her father. Through it all, her spirit has been indomitable, embodying the essence of Maya Angelou's words. And still I rise. Happy 35th birthday, Valencia.
What up, man? I was looking at Valencia on social media. She is a supermodel.
Yeah, she is rocking all of her challenges very well. God has really given her grace. And one of my favorite passages of scripture is when Abraham was talking to the fiery bush. And one of the things that people often overlook is when the Bible says the bush was on fire, but was never consumed by the fire.
That's right.
And Valencia is like that bush. She's on fire, but not consumed by the fire. So
only God can do that.
Only God can do it. Only God can do it, Jarrell. Only God can do it. Listen, I do want to say this. I got a couple of calls. And because we talked about birthdays, and you was about to do it now. I saw you smack your head if I had turned when I said her age. Women have changed over the years. They're embracing that. Listen, I was getting calls. I was getting calls like, tell Tamara that it's a new day. We're embracing our age.
It ain't no new day for me. So I get where you at, but that ain't my ministry.
Well, shout out to Belinda Alexander, who turned 60, who had a big 60th birthday yesterday. Was her 60th birthday.
Happy birthday, Belinda.
And don't
put no candles on my cake.
If you want to share your
numbers on my balloon. No. If somebody got on a Zoom one time. One of my great friends got on a Zoom one time on my birthday and said my age. I clicked them off.
Did anybody hear it?
Everybody heard it.
Ah, well, you know what? We won't do that. I know your age.
You don't know nothing about me.
I know all. I know you are 35.
Okay,
look, see, you about to have them dump.
I was about to hear you click you off.
But in a somber moment, I heard you also say that it's very quiet in the studio because I just got some very shocking news.
No more. Your news is devastating.
Well, first of all, let me just say this. Yesterday, Valencia's grandfather passed away.
Oh my
so
God.
I didn't even get to really touch on that. This is on her mother's side of the family. So it's a long story, but I'll say this. Her grandfather died yesterday, and last year his wife died. Her auntie. So it was, it's like, Black folks, first thing we say is, he couldn't live without her, of course. She came back to get him. And that is it. So we're praying for her family in the passing of Mr. Ronnie. Valencia, she kind of wasn't known, but I could tell because my mother was calling how is she, and I'm like, it hasn't really clicked yet, but it's gonna click. But she is holding strong. But she, she was bringing up memories. He took her to ballet class every Saturday and would take her to get, chocolate after, and called her his little skinny. And when we would go sit with him, MJ would love to, hit him and sit on his lap and play with him, and he would get excited. So we're praying for that.
We saw videos of MJ and the grandfather.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can live vicariously, if not physically, through the stories and videos that are shared with. So I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, and then one of our number one listeners and a friend of the Brunch Bunch, a friend of mine, Mama Sandra McCoy, passed away this morning. Yes. And I got it while I was sitting here looking up the message for Valencia, and I'm like, I am a saint I believe in God, and so death is not the hardest thing for me, you know. And I was talking about this to somebody the other day, but when my sister passed away, God gave me this revelation. And Tammy, you know, because I think one time you asked me to help you with some words for a funeral.
And Leslie's mom.
Yeah, you know, when my sister died, the revelation that I received was life guarantees us one thing, and that's that we live to die. But God guarantees us that we live to live again. And so sometimes I see people and I just expect them to live forever, right? You hear some people die, you're like, they were never going nowhere. But you know, we all are on that journey out of here one day. So if you walk right, heaven belongs to you. If you talk right, heaven belongs to you. If you live right, look, I'm working the rest. Heaven belongs to
you know what they say, God, in death, that death is both menacing and merciful, is both ending and beginning, is both separation and a reunion. So if you look at it like that, absolutely you can find some solace. Now for me, I always think that the reason there's so many stars in the sky is because when we leave this earth, we go to our own planet, we reunite with our family members, and we live in paradise forever. Now that's just my belief. I don't have any scriptures to back that up. I don't know, but there's a reason for everything because God is very intentional.
God is sovereign. He tells no lie. His word does not return unto him void. Okay. And you know what? If you believe by faith, if you walk by faith, heaven can belong to you. And you know why? Because only God can do it. It's only God can do it right here on the Brunch Bunch.
Thank you, Tammy.
Poor. I know. Oh, that ain't what I wanted.
What you got?
Heaven is mine. Type heaven is mine. Only God. Turn that down, son. Only God can do it is by Renee something. But this is cool. We go with it. What's up, y'all?
Heaven what?
Heaven is mine. Jarrell, you be on it though. I appreciate that. Okay, you can fade this out. Go to commercial. It's Tammy.
Hey guys, it's Tamara Fair
and Action Jackson
from the Brunch Bunch. Now, your home is not just a place. It's a lifetime of memories, hard-earned and cherished. At Secure Home and Automation, they understand what it means to protect these memories. As a Brinks authorized dealer, they stand guard over 1 million homes and businesses, ensuring safety 24/7, 365 days a year.
And you know what? Their response center is ever vigilant, providing top-notch monitoring for burglary, fire, carbon monoxide, and medical emergencies. They will fulfill and even exceed all industry standards. With Secure Home and Automation, they have the power to customize your security solution.
How dim, how ending it looks. God can renew it.
Secure Home and Automation be a part of your story, a part of your legacy. They're safeguarding your home and preserving your peace.
So go ahead and call 866-447-3344. That's 866-447-3344. Call today and make a wise choice to secure your tomorrow. Secure Home and Automation. You've heard the name. Now experience the promise of ultimate safety that they bring to your home. Call Stacy Chauncey at 866-447-3344. Stacy Chauncey, 866-447-3344.
Dreaming of a new home or selling at a great price? L&S Development is your go-to. Expertise in real estate and mortgage loans, we make the process seamless and rewarding. No more hurdles in your property journey. Buying, selling, or refinancing, we've got your back. Dial area code 773-616-0906 and step into your property dreams with L&S Development. Area code 773-616-0906. L&S Development, making property dreams a reality.
We were talking about Trump in and
Hey,
his
believers, it's your main
court
man, Action
cases,
Jackson.
his
Are you
many
searching
court
for a
cases.
life-changing word?
Typically
Look
the
no
one,
further
I mean,
than
not
Corbin
typically,
Bishop
specifically the one in
Ministries. Tune in
Georgia.
every Saturday at 6
We were
p.m.
just looking
Central
at
Time to the
Fanny.
Word Network,
Yeah,
where Corbin
she's
Bishop
something else.
Ministry brings you
She
powerful
a firecracker. I
messages
like
that
her.
will touch your heart and transform your life. Corbin Bush
Oh yeah.
Ministries is dedicated to
Well, unless the
spreading
fix
the
is in.
teachings of love, faith, and empowerment. Give them a call, 214-371-8768, to connect directly with their ministry. And don't forget to follow Bishop on Facebook at Corbin Bush Ministries for daily
Trump be
inspiration.
trumping, don't he?
Don't
Trump
forget,
be
tune in
trumping.
this Saturday
That's straight up evidence.
to the Word Network for a life-changing word.
It's Amerifair on the Brunch Bunch.
For all of you early risers who get up and listen to your Sirius XM app, you could have heard me today with the fantastic, fantabulous DJ Fix, who's on Holy Culture, and that's channel 140. The interview that I did with him was absolutely amazing. It's on the Fix Radio Show. He is incredible. If you get a chance to do it today, go back and listen to it. We were talking about the show that I did, which is now off the air. Double Cross.
Yeah.
The episode that I did was the last episode that was done. So we are appealing to all of the listeners out here in listening land, and that's all over the world, to actually get on Facebook, write the writers and the producers, and ask if they would consider putting Double Cross, not necessarily on All Black, but on another network. You know, public opinion, if galvanized and effective enough, can move the needle. So
changing lanes.
I am changing lanes. So, you know, America has really had its challenges since the inception of America being formed. But a lot of times we go back in history, well, the history that they continue to let us get taught. And we tend to think that Britain was a lot less racist than America.
I don't know who thought that.
Well, entertainers have left America to go to Britain to have a better life. And I put that in air quotes. Well,
it was less segregated back in there, because I know like Nina Simone went to Paris and moved to Europe, not Britain. Europe as Europe. Britain, I definitely they've been on the top of the racist list.
Well, having said that, they still are. So the debate ensues over a racist mural in the British Museum. So the British Modern Art Museum commissioned an artist to respond to a mural that has been banned from public view since 2020 because of its caricatures depicting of Black and Chinese people. Well, the artist said that the people need to see it. Well, Keith Piper, a Black man, defended Rex Whistler's The Expedition in Purist of Rare Meats, a wraparound mural that covered the walls of Tate's Britain restaurant. Well, that piece features caricatures of enslaved Black children being pulled by chains, attached to carriages, or held by white people, a naked Black woman perched in a tree, as well as offensive images of Chinese people. Well, the piece, as commissioned back in 1926, according to The Guardian, is now back under fire. Well, however, the debate over whether it should be displayed to the public has resurfaced again as Tate prepares to put it back on the display on Tuesday, March the 12th. That was this past Tuesday. The museum then called on Piper, founder of BLK Art Group and a prominent voice of British Black art movement in the 80s, to comment on the piece. Well, here's what Piper had to say via The Guardian. I know there is an argument among young people now that these images re-traumatize, but I think that we either look or forget. We are very good at forgetting nowadays, and things that are out of sight tend to be out of mind. To keep it clear, a sense of history is what we need so that we can see these things, so that we don't repeat these things. Well, we need to recognize the importance throughout Black struggles, the importance of difficult images. And if we go back to the struggle against apartheid, the very graphic and traumatizing video of George Floyd during the Black Lives Matter, his life coming out of his body, these things are forever etched in our brains. And without that very problematic image, it is questionable whether or not time will make us forget that movement that would have actually been a cornerstone in moving the needle towards civil rights. Those images we cannot forget. But the artist, who was a member of the Black Art Group, argues that in the age of artificial intelligence, we need to see real historical images, however difficult that may be. Having the historical artifact itself is becoming more important because of how much is fabricated by AI, said Piper. Well, the mural has been shut off since 2020 because of the pandemic. However, concerns about the piece have been raised by the public since 2013. Piper never denied the piece was racist, but asserted that its problematic elements are necessary in time when history is being erased and watered down. And it begs the question, is this not what we're fighting against in the United States? The very facts of American history are being sifted of anything related to racism and prejudice for the sake of protecting white people from white guilt. The anti-woke battle is starting to in classrooms, libraries, but wait until they get to the art museums. So that begs a broader question. Should these pieces be suppressed, or should they be upped for people to see them and be ever present of what it actually represents? On the flip side, you could say, well, then why are we taking down these images of Confederate people who have actually decimated Black people and people who've been marginalized, period, because that has been a movement. So it's a twofold argument, and both sides have some very critical points that they're making.
Yeah, it's interesting because you just answered. It's twofold. It's like, both sides. I can see, it's art. Let's have a conversation around it.
But then you during the Holocaust, during the Jewish holodays, all of the Jewish holidays, we start talking about we will never forget, because that's the mantra of the Jewish tribe. We will never forget. They will never forget the Holocaust. But I don't necessarily see out in public. Now, they may have it in Jewish museums that I have not visited, but I don't see graphic pictures of the Holocaust.
I've seen some graphic pictures of the Holocaust, and Are
they in museums?
I've seen them outside of museums. I've seen them in museums, of course, definitely. So, pictures of the bodies in the gas chambers. And the reason...
On fences around the restaurant?
No, I haven't seen them on fences around the restaurant.
Okay, that's the issue.
That's the real issue. So it could be in museums, but not... I think it's disrespectful to have it on the fence around the restaurant. Now, if I take some Holocaust pictures and put them on the fence outside of the Dream Center of dead bodies on Chicago Avenue, everybody from the Jewish community will be on Chicago.
The synagogue
gonna be synagogue. Now, maybe that'll bring some publicity to Chicago Avenue, but not the right
but that ain't what
publicity.
You want.
That ain't the publicity.
That ain't what you want.
But I think too, it shouldn't be on the gate, but it should be in the museum to be seen.
Yeah.
And I think we're a sensitive group of people, a race. Because every time there's a slave movie, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to rent out the theater and take as many people to go see it. But you know what you can also bet? I'm going to get more people walking out saying they don't want to see it than to sit and watch it and have a conversation after. Because it's not just about seeing it, but until you know it, until you get angry about it, you don't start changing things. And that's what the Jewish community does.
And they do a good job.
And they do a good job because they do Saturday school, Jewish school with their kids, and they teaching them and they drilling it into them how to never forget so it doesn't happen again, how to come together, how to uplift each other, and how to combat anti-Semitism as soon as it's happening. And it don't even got to be anti-Semitism. What we doing right now, they may call anti-Semitism, and they'll come shut the whole thing down, But that's just how they roll, Yeah.
Well, I agree, but it's something that you have to really think about and take your position on it, or it's something that you don't have to even deal with if you don't want to. But it may come up again, so this is what we do: we bring you the hot topics that make you start to go.
Now, when we travel. And my friends in Valencia tell you, we always, wherever we go, I'm looking for an African-American museum, a slave particularly like because there's slave history in Chicago and in the suburbs on the Underground Railroad that most people don't know
you were right.
about. But so any city or state we travel to or country, I'm always Googling, is there a slave museum? Is there Underground Railroad?
Let me ask you this gut reaction. You see this graphic on Chicago Avenue. How do you respond? You go to song? Go to song.
You go to song.
Don't go nowhere, y'all. We'll be right back. This is Rich in 1390.
You got some nerve wrapping me up.
Only reason I said that was because.
What time? Did he call in? He ain't there.
I know, but you still got to do yours.
Oh, I think I omit mine for the sake of the show. Always.
That's why I said that. So you
I thought I did mine.
What's going on?
I don't know why my mind thought I did it.
It's because the lining is so fresh.
We don't have to do it.
Oh, that's why I wrapped it up so you could.
Hey, how you doing, Commissioner?
How you doing?
All right.
You got a great voice for radio. How you doing? I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you for that last minute pivot. Appreciate you.
No problem. Happy to do it. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
All right. You'll be up in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'm
Anyone else on or just me?
Just you.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Hey, I'm the producer right here at 1390. I'm going to just put you on hold just for a second, and then we're going to bring you right back in as soon as the song's over, okay?
All right. Sounds good. How long is it take?
About 10 minutes.
All right, perfect.
We know you have a engagement. We're going to make sure that you get out of here so you can make it on time.
All right. I appreciate that.
No problem.
That's what I was right.
What?
We don't have to, he got to keep it moving.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I saw.
Sometimes we stretch it out 30 minutes.
Well, in that case, you can do your story then.
Right after the.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. But your answer to your question as to why I said that. I knew he was going to be on time, and I knew that he had a hard stop.
Nope. Just bring us in. Oh, of course.
You ask him to name the boundaries of the district. A lot of times people know they're commissioners, but they got the wrong commissioner because they don't know where it ends and stuff. They think one commissioner is over all the counties. And so it's our job, I guess, to educate. You got a commissioner that's
He's a loving Father and almighty friend. What a friend we have in Jesus. And you know what? What a friend we have in Cook County Commissioner Larry R. Rogers Jr., the longest serving commissioner at the Cook County Board of Review. His commitment to transparency, efficiency, and fairness in property tax assessments has made a profound impact on Cook County residents and businesses. Join us as we delve into Commissioner Rogers' journey, his tireless advocacy for fair tax assessments, and his vision for the future of Cook County. Welcome, Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
We appreciate you being here. So you know what? When we were off after we had greeted you, Marcel and I were talking about how a lot of the Chicago and people, period, don't understand the boundaries of a commissioner and that you have a certain area, certain district. Can you tell your boundaries of your district?
Absolutely. So Cook County is divided into 3 districts, and they're actually, pursuant to the Voting Rights Act, divided to make sure that we have equal representation. So there's a district on the north side where we have a Caucasian commissioner elected. We have a majority Latino district, and I've been blessed and fortunate to be the elected representative for the African American community. So I represent the south and west side of not just Chicago, but Cook County. I go as far south as Fort Heights, and as far west as Proviso Township and Maywood and Bridgeview. So it's a very, very big district. There's about 1.7 million people in my district.
Ooh, that's a big job. I want y'all to pay some attention to Fort Heights. I was over there the other day.
Yeah, please. Touch him, Lord. Touch him.
Touch him.
But Commissioner Rogers, and I'm glad Tammy said that, because there's a difference between a Cook County commissioner and a Cook County Board of Review commissioner. And just so the believers know, what is your job and what are you doing for the residents of your district?
That's a fantastic question. So our job by statute is described as a quasi-judicial office. What does that mean? That means that we don't assess property, but if people think they've been over-assessed by the Cook County assessor, and a lot of them have, we provide a venue for them to go to have a review of evidence of value. So that's evidence by way of appraisals, evidence by way of sales in the area, and evidence by way of comparable properties. And where we find evidence that they've been overassessed, we have the authority to reduce their valuation.
So this is a huge office.
Yeah, I've been a lawyer now for 30 years. I have a private law practice that does wrongful death and personal injury work. I've been doing that for 30 years. I've been a commissioner for 20 years. And in my law practice, I represent everyday people who've been wronged. And I view my work as a commissioner the same, helping everyday people challenge over assessments so they don't pay any more than their fair share.
Well, guess what? I'm going to need your services because I've been overtaxed. No.
And underrepresented.
Absolutely. So I would like for you to walk the believers in the process of how they go through this review of appeals through your office when they feel that they have been unfairly taxed, because a lot of people don't know that this is available as a resource.
Sure. We make it as simple as possible. In fact, in 2015, we went to a completely online digital process where people can file appeals just by going to our website at cookcountyboardofreview.com. Again, cookcountyboardofreview.com. And you can fill out an appeal form online in 5 minutes. You can do it even from your phone. And in addition to that, for people who would prefer to fill out the paperwork, we come out to the community and do community-based outreach events where we partner with elected officials throughout Cook County, bring our staff out to the neighborhoods, out to the community, and we accept the forms right there and help them fill them out. So we try to make it as available, accessible, and user-friendly as possible to help as many people as we can.
And so from the time, first of all, thank you very much for explaining that. That's very helpful. But from the time that a person actually fills it out on cookcountyboardofreview.com to the time that the action starts to flow, what kind of time frame are we looking at?
Well, it varies depending on when you fill out the appeal. So our process has to follow the assessor's assessment. So he assesses property. Once he finalizes an assessed value, we open up for the filing by township. There are 38 townships in Cook County. As an example, Hyde Park Township is one. So once he assesses and certifies the number at Hyde Park, we open Hyde Park for the filing of appeals. And then they're usually decided within about 60 days of us closing the township. But what we do to help people have more time is in July, we open for what we call a pre-filing period. So we recommend that people in every July file a property tax appeal with the Cook County Board of Review at cookcountyboardofreview.com. That way, when you pre-file, whenever your township opens, we can accept that appeal and begin the process.
Awesome.
So even just start pre-filing. So if you've been overtaxed, then the process already be going.
That's right. It's almost not an if, because 6 to 7 out of every 10 people who file an appeal with us get some type of reduction.
Now, let me ask you this, Commissioner Rogers. Is there any way, we don't want to take away your job, of course, with the Cook County Board of Review, but is it any way to make sure that the Cook County assessor is properly assessing the property taxes?
Great question.
It's funny you ask that. I always say that if Assessor Fritz Kagi would get it right, you wouldn't need a Cook County Board of Review commissioner. But unfortunately, we hundreds of thousands of appeals every year because there's so many errors coming out of the Cook County Assessor's Office. I mean, we see errors in valuation, we see errors in classification. It's just kind of incredible how many errors we see. In the South Suburbs, there have been increases from one year to the next of like 200% on some properties. Yep. So people really need to take a look at the value set on their property by Fritz Kagi, and they need to challenge those values where they think they've been overassessed. And we help them. We help them fill out the forms. We help them find evidence to get the reductions. Again, 6 to 7 out of every 10 homeowners who file get some type of relief with our agency.
Because it's a travesty when you look at the village of Maywood, who has some of the highest property taxes
in the
nation, especially in Cook County. You know, we'll just keep it right here in Cook for now. And they don't even have the services that other villages has or the housing stock. So, well, thank you for the work that you're doing to help. What would you say to the listeners that are listening now who have been overtaxed for their properties? Is it too late for them to go back to previous years to appeal?
Well, that's a great question. Where there is an error, you can go back up to 3 years, which can be very, very helpful for people. They will get refunds if we can establish and prove that they were overassessed due to some error. You can go back as much as 3 years. So we try and help people as much as we can because, you know, our homes are typically our largest asset. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure people keep their homes. That's the most valuable asset that we pass on to our kids and our loved ones. So we want to make sure people can stay in their homes and are not paying more than their fair share.
Marcel brought up a very good question, and you actually spoke on if the valuation process was more accurate, we would not need a second subsidiary that handles the things for admissive valuation. Is there a metric that people can actually look at and see and maybe identify on their own that is available for public viewing?
Well, the best evidence of value on a residential property is typically a sale price, because that's what the people are willing to pay in the market. But you know, a lot of homes don't sell every year. Most homes don't. So you have to look at appraisals, or you have to look at the values on properties that have sold in the area. One problem that we're seeing is people are comparing their properties sometimes to other overassessed properties because
that makes sense.
He's gotten it wrong so much that he's taking away the valuable evidence that you would typically use. So, you know, you may know that the property is not worth $200,000, but because he assessed your property there and your neighbor's property there, and they're both wrong, it gets to be difficult to find a comparable property to get the reduction. But we try to help people as much as possible. So we look at foreclosed properties in your area where appropriate. We look at abandoned properties in your area where appropriate. Any evidence that we can identify to help people save money and keep money in their pockets and get a reduced valuation of their property for tax purposes, we help them. And like I said, 6 to 7 out of every 10 people that file get some type of relief from our agency.
Well, I was sitting here thinking, Commissioner, and I don't know if I'm going to just ask. Listen, have there ever been a case where someone has lost their home to property taxes, but then came back to appeal because they realized they were being overtaxed?
Absolutely. In fact, Channel 7 just reported about a nursery business who was improperly classified. You know, you have to pay when you get that tax bill. You got to pay it. They paid the tax bill. Fritz Kagi later acknowledged the error, and they were owed $300,000 based upon the errors Kagi made in assessing their property. The problem was they couldn't afford it. They had to close the nursery business because they couldn't afford it, the taxes. And when he acknowledged the error, they were entitled to $300,000 back. But it was too late. They had already lost their property. Even if they got the money back, it doesn't give them the property back. So there are numerous examples of errors that have led to people losing their homes, losing their properties, losing their businesses. instances, and we try to help to prevent that as much as possible.
Now, in a case like that, is there a cure that property owner could actually, they can't file against Keagy's office? I mean, that doesn't make sense. I'm looking at Marcel shake his head like, no, there's no remedy for that. They just lost their property.
Well, it's a complex problem because the money that you pay in taxes and that they paid in taxes went to various taxing districts, some of them small school districts. While they're entitled to a refund from those districts, sometimes the small districts, don't have the money to give back.
Right.
So,
They do have it. They got it from them.
But they spent it.
Well, come on. That don't mean that when we spend our money, we still got to pay our bills.
Yeah.
This has been some really good information, really excellent information.
And so, Commissioner Rogers, election time is coming up, and you are on the ballot.
I am on the ballot. This is my 6th term that I'm seeking. I've been blessed and fortunate to have been endorsed by a number of different people, from Senator Dick Durbin to Attorney General Kwame Raoul to Congressman Jonathan Jackson and Robin Kelly and Danny Davis and Jan Schakowsky, and then just a host of others, CTU, the Chicago Federation of Labor, and all the committeemen and the Democratic Party. So I've been blessed and fortunate. I consider that to be support and sanctioning for the work I've tried to do over the years. So I welcome, appreciate, and thank them all for that support.
Everybody and their mama endorse you, Commissioner Rogers.
Well, you've been in the office for a very long time, and you're doing a great job. So thank you so much for being in the space that you're in and the great work that you're doing. What's your punch number?
My punch number is 112. Again, hopefully I can get the support of your listeners for Cook County Commissioner Larry Rogers Jr. for the Board of Review. Punch 112.
Punch 112.
All right. Well, Commissioner Rogers, thank you for joining us today and educating our listeners, because Cook County property tax issues is a big issue.
Huge.
And we had to do a better job at educating the community about how important your role is, but how important that Cook County Assessor Office is.
Yes. Because really, when you think about it, the Cook County Assessor's Office is your friend when the Assessor's Office has been your enemy. Because I'm getting ready to call them right now. Right now.
Board of Review is your friend.
Board of Review.
Thank you so much for that clarity. Board
She's
of
so
Review.
excited. She done messed the name
God.
up.
I think I'm going to take my jacket off. I'm getting hot up in here.
Yeah, well, you know what?
When I'm done with this race, we may have to take a look at that assessor's race, because we need to do some things different in that office.
No, listen, Commissioner Rogers, and I may have to.
Got to.
I am committing my time and talent and resources to look and educate people on that race, because it's a travesty and we can't continue to let it happen.
Absolutely.
But see, if I knew that this was available, I hired a lawyer to actually get my property reassessed so that I could get a reduction, which meant that I paid the lawyer and still didn't get it assessed, where there was a free option to hold my hand through this process that I was not aware of.
Yeah, that's right. We try to do as many outreaches as we can to let people know you don't need a lawyer to do that work. We'll do the work for you. We just can't do the work unless you file. So if people file, we will do the investigation into what comparable properties exist. We'll ask you for any appraisals or other information you have. And like I said, if you're entitled to a reduction, we want to give you the reduction. We have no vested interest in keeping the assessor's value. We have every vested interest in making sure people pay no more than their fair share.
Commissioner Rogers, thank you for the work that you're doing. Believers, CookCountyBoardOfReview.com. Starting in July, you can pre-enroll, register to get your review taken care of. But whenever, make sure you connect with the Cook County Board of Review. Commissioner Rogers, we pray nothing but the favor of God over your race and success. And then once you're done with this, come back to the Brunch Bunch and let's talk about this Cook County Assessors race.
There you go. And punch 112. Punch 112.
And I got to give a shout out to my pastor, Pastor Reginald Sharp, and my Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church family.
All right, Shipite.
I'm a Shipite, as well as my great friend, Pastor Dave and Ira Ackrey, and Reverend Sanders. Everybody that's just been very supportive and helping us get the word out. I love them all and appreciate them all.
So we appreciate you. You know what? there were so many wonderful things that was talked about in this interview. There are so many wonderful things that are, or resources that are happening in our city and our county that, here on the Brunch Bunch, we make sure that you know about a believer. But you know what? We want you to understand one thing. There is so many wonderful things about Jesus. It's Throwback Thursday right here on Inspiration 1390.
You think I'm playing? I'm dialing up. I literally have to pay them so much money. And literally.
I don't want to say this on air, but sometimes, unfortunately, lawyers get better outcomes.
They didn't.
Right, you had the wrong lawyer.
You want to know what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? And somebody just sent me a text, appeal lawyer.
Don't use them. I'm telling you now. Go here first.
But what the saddest thing, what peed me off was, and we shouldn't have this office because property taxes should be assessed properly.
No, you have to have a platform to cure.
Well, right, but I'm saying in a perfect world, they should be assessing properties right. And when you elect someone, when you hire somebody, you don't want to have to hire somebody to watch somebody you hiring for that position.
But there's always going to be that human error, so you're kind of thinking of an automated system then at that point. And then you're getting rid of a whole other...
No, I ain't thinking automated. I'm thinking this. If Tamara hired a director to lead her daycare center, she don't want to have the director to oversee the director. Your job as the owner is to make sure everything is done. But when you lead a director at the daycare, you expect them to do it right?
Yeah, but I don't leave them to just do it right.
That's where I come in.
That's right. I don't leave them to just do it right because you never know. I mean, they might be overwhelmed. They might be having some issues that block their good judgment, which is the reason I hired them in the first place. So you have to have somebody that you can
manage. You got to have oversight. Exactly. But I don't think in this case, that's what I'm saying. In the perfect world, our property taxes should be assessed properly.
Yes.
And well, obviously, that's why they made the office because they weren't.
No, I know.
The board. So.
But that's why he said we need to now talk about it. And if you didn't catch it,
I caught it. I caught it. I'm talking about with my
maybe he needs to be the Cook County assessor next.
Yes.
But
But a lot of people have big oppositions about Fred. A lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, but that's Crook County. I want to know other counties across the country that are so bad property taxes are set. People losing their property because their property taxes are so high.
And I wanted to ask him, was it a nursery school or
it was
a nursery
like plant nursery. White family out by your house.
Burridge.
Burridge is
in Cook County?
It was whatever. No, that's Will. You do pay. It was out in the western suburbs though.
But literally, if you cross the street from my parents' house, it's Cook County.
Right.
Yeah, literally, because I'm on county line.
But it's like, what did we hire this Cook County assessor for if he's not going to properly do his job? Like any politician, that's the overarching message I want to get out. We got to quit letting people get our vote and they don't do what they're supposed to do. Black people lose their houses more than any other race in the county, but then we elect this Democratic assessor to assess our property taxes to then not do the job and help more people lose their homes. It makes no sense to me.
What I heard is people lose their house and it's all wrong. That's what I heard.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why people go ahead and pay their taxes. Remember when I was saying to you, it's February the 31st. February 29th. Let me pay these taxes because they do March 1st.
What February?
No, February 29th. But I blindly just pay the taxes, right? But no more.
Because then in the Cook County, you don't pay your taxes, somebody else pay them. Now you charge 15 to 20% interest on top. So now you got to pay your taxes
then they
back.
Sent me a billion notices.
Where's the action, Jackson?
I'll tell you what's going on. So what's going on is, when we look across this country, and we can hone in on where we are, Cook County, Chicago, we see that there are so many disparities that affect Black and Brown, but I'm going to focus on Black. And we just heard the disparities in the Cook County tax process and assessments, which is an issue. But Black people across the African diaspora are standing up. And we have not talked about what's going on in Haiti. Do you know that the gangs have said enough is enough? We're taking over our country. We want this guy out of office. But that's a direct correlation to France. And then in West Africa, and I shared it with the Brunch Bunch page this morning, there's a revolt going on again, and we're seeing them stand up. But I think when Black people understand that we have the power, if we all just come together, we can really evoke change in multiple countries. So France is on its way to being a 1/3 word country, a real one with no resources. It's just a matter of time before European imperialism comes to an end. We see the same thing happening in Haiti, but the mainstream media is ignoring it. The West knows it, and this is why we see geopolitical wars, which could eventually turn into World War III. Africans are taking back what's theirs, and oppression is never sustainable, was a message that I saw this morning. And it made me think about, I was sent an article that, and I didn't get to read it thoroughly, you tell me if you heard it. Mortgages are being put on hold for migrant housing. And until you either sell the house or refinance, then the mortgage will be paid off, but they won't have to pay any mortgages, any payments on the homes that they are occupying and receiving, which is a slap in the face to when we look at, and he said it, so many people lose their homes because they can't afford property taxes, because they've been overtaxed for a property that shouldn't even be that much. But then there's nothing to remedy these situations. It's like, okay, whatever. And the family he talked about, which was a white family, they paid their taxes, but couldn't afford to run the business anymore. So they shut the business down. They sold the land that the business was on, found out that they overpaid taxes. Fritz Kaki, our Cook County assessor, admitted to act wrongfully assessing their taxes. And it's like, well, we can't give you your money back because the money, your taxes, you paid your taxes. They went to school districts. Those small school districts that received the tax money is now liable, which is crazy to me, liable to pay the money back when the Cook County government made the mistake. We have to just pay attention.
I thought that they were owed $300,000 and they got the $300,000.
No. He just they can't get it back because the school got to pay it back, and the school can't afford to pay it back.
Because shut the school down.
So now
I don't say nothing.
I'm like, oh, wait a minute, send Granny to jail for the water bill.
It's just wrong. Fritz got to pay it back. Somebody got to pay the
Well, right. I wouldn't say. Thank you. Yes. Finally, damn it. I sent Granny to jail. You shutting the whole public school down.
Hey, look, because that's just ridiculous. The heartbeat of American economy is small businesses. So basically, you gave those people a heart attack. And essentially, then you gave America's economy a heart attack.
And guess what? It was a legacy business. It had been in the family for 3 generations. And so that's the travesty, right? Now, this happened to a white family. And just imagine the hundreds or thousands of African Americans over the years. That's why I asked the question, how many people have lost their homes and then came back to appeal? Because they realized, but think about this. If your taxes are $1,000 and you only have $250, you've been overly assessed $1,000, you got $250. But the real taxes were only $200. But you didn't pay the $1,000 because you couldn't afford it. You lost your home.
I'm not following. Go back
to
the man.
So you own your house.
Mm-hmm.
The property taxes were $200. Should have been only $200, but the assessor assessed them at $1,000.
Okay, now
you had $250 in your pocket. You could have paid the right property taxes
and had a $50 or surplus.
Then had $50 left, but now you have no home because you couldn't afford the $1,000 bill. But then you go and appeal it and they say, oh, we overly tax you. We're sorry. Sorry is not going to get my house back because my house has been sold.
I'm moving in with Fritz. Simple.
No, we moving Fritz out. Now listen, Fritz, and I told Fritz to come on this show.
He definitely has to. You got to be accountable.
Because we've got more calls, and shout out to Pam if she's listening, from Alderman Chris Taliaferro's office. She's chief of staff over there, and she called me and said her property taxes went up almost 200%, and she couldn't afford it. But just imagine her neighbors who are seniors and retired, and how
living
many
on fixed income.
living on fixed income. But we cannot allow these things to continue to happen, and we cannot continue to blindly vote for people because, as I said off air, I'm not hiring someone as a small business. I cannot afford an oversight committee to watch you. You got to do the job that I hired you for, or guess what? You get fired.
That's right.
You know, that's the end of the deal.
In some cases, it's better to just ignore the situation than to have somebody do a poor job of the situation. Because now you got to do two jobs. I got to fix what you did, and then I got to go back and do it again.
Hello, listen. So you know what? That sounds like mental illness. Sounds like insanity. You know, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. I'm urging you, people. Listen, I'm gonna start. You know what? I'm not in Jamaica, but I am ready to start the revolution because we cannot continue to allow these people to get our vote and do nothing for us. We got migrants coming to our city, our state, our country.
And I don't care about the migrants coming. All I'm saying is be fair. Like I say all the time, if you do it for one, do it for everybody. If you're going to suspend mortgages for migrants, suspend them for people who cannot. Until they get their proper assessment, suspend the mortgage, suspend the tax payment, suspend it all.
Yep. And you know what? I love our mayor, Brandon Johnson. But tomorrow we're going to talk about this story that just came out that the Archdiocese of Chicago reached out to the city and the mayor and offered free housing for the migrants, but never got an answer back and was never given the opportunity to help. So I want to know about that too, because contracts went out for hundreds of millions of dollars to house migrants. I ain't get a check, so I'm really mad. So listen,
big mad.
I'm big mad. So no, in the spirit of we got to get up out of here, I'm going to be happy. And on this Throwback Thursday, I've encouraged you like the great late Reverend Clay Evans, no matter what you're going through, go home tonight, pull the covers over your shoulders and go to sleep because angels are watching over you. Tamara Fair, I love you.
We love you, believers. I love you, Action Jackson. We out.
Calm down. We got 12 seconds left. Oh Lord, Jesus, Jim Shoe. 10 seconds now. But you know what? Up next is AC Green. After that, Pastor DeAndre Patterson with the afternoon drive. We get it done all night long right here on Inspiration 1390. I can see the clock on his screen. If you ever notice now, that's why I be doing like this.
You guys, this is so important. I can't even explain it to you with the kind of emphasis that you need. But get on CookCountyBoardOfReview.com.
It's glory, trust me.
Because I have some over-assessed properties that I know need to be handled by the Cook County Board of Review. Make sure that you are being properly assessed. Pay what you owe, but don't pay over what you owe, because that means that you are paying an office, not even someone else's taxes. You're just paying an office for your money to sit there. You're not earning anything. In fact, it's subtracting from your bottom line. Y'all, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful Thursday.
Before we go, Hump Day Hookup is in full effect. We got Jarrell, a blind date set up. Woo, we're gonna document it.
Now,
We're
we
gonna share it on Jarrell. You need to get you a Buddy Pass yearly pass so you can get free dinner at Truth Italian. All right, see y'all.
Bye, guys.